Chairman Harris poll, of course, chief strategist, I think, on 2 campaigns. Is that right? 2 presidential campaigns, and advisor to Microsoft and Ford. First of all, Mark, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And the last time we spoke, I believe you used the word sewer next to Twitter. And when I checked your latest tweet, you seem to be feeling a little more optimistic now that Elon Musk is making his presence felt. Is that fair to say?
Well, I see all these folks saying, "Oh my God, what is Elon Musk going to do to Twitter?" And I'm going, like, where have you been? Twitter has been a sewer for a long time. As an institution, it had the lowest rating of any of the social media or almost any major corporation. It was seen as a place that precipitated mobs of people, that enforced speech and ideology codes and got people fired from their jobs. And so this is going to be worse. Well, I think people have to give Elon Musk an opportunity. Maybe he is the roto-rooter, as I've said here, come in to clean up the sewer and provide some balance here in terms of free speech and eliminating, speech that is beyond the pale or inappropriate for various reasons.
So I guess you could take the nowhere to go but up argument, but let's start with this whole Twitter files, for example, that came out. Is it a ho-hum? I mean, it doesn't really seem to have been as earth-shaking as the Facebook files, for example.
Well, today the news media covers what they want to cover, and they simply ignore what they don't want to cover. I mean,
I'm in the news media. I'm covering it.
It seems to me pretty clear that, something like, hey, these tweets we should remove, and somebody from Twitter saying, I'm on it, that's pretty devastating. It shows that there was a regular course of conduct at that time, at least the Democratic Party being able to write to Twitter and get an almost immediate response that things they didn't like would be taken off or shadow banned. And later on, I guess the very close coordination with government once the administration took over on key issues. So I think the Twitter files are significant. They revealed what everybody suspected, which is that the tools that were designed for child pornography were really instead being used for a political censorship operation. And frankly, my own experience with the institutions.
Did they ever censor you?
I don't think I was censored politically, but I have a political game 270, and I had a long fight with Facebook over whether advertising for my game was political advertising, and everyone at the top said it wasn't, and everyone on like election integrity commissions somehow reversed it and didn't let me advertise a simple game where just people play Hillary Clinton or Trump or whomever. And it's a game and it had no political content. So the censor's pen is a dangerous pen, right? And when you give it to a bunch of kids who are running major tech organizations, the opportunity for abuse is so much bigger than people realize. So I hope it gets constrained. I hope it becomes rational. We can't let bots control our life, and we can't let people without really sensible people really determining what should or should not be moderated.
Well, as somebody in the marketing space, though, you called Twitter a sewer. That sewer, I'm assuming, is because it was essentially a place that was filled with, hate and yahoos, et cetera. How do you make Twitter a platform that a Ford or a Microsoft is like, yes, get me on there?
Well, first of all, advertising was never a big part of Twitter, and Twitter advertising was really not the most effective advertising. So all this hullabaloo about it, I'm not quite sure is.
It's the business model that's the problem, not who's on it. Is that it?
Well, the advertising itself really was not as effective as advertising on Google or Facebook because of the way people use Twitter and the way the advertising was positioned. I mean, one of the jobs I think that Elon Musk has is to redo how advertising is displayed. How to avoid the problem you just said if you don't want advertisements against, rough and tumble content. You want it under, aligned with certain content. So you need a better organization that puts the ads in the right places, and you need a better kind of ads that actually work. So I think that that's actually part of the job that he's got to do, because the organization was just simply, not only was it a sewer, but it was also losing lots of money.
So I want to stay on this a second because I think it's fascinating, which is if you're giving pro bono advice to Elon Musk, he's now got the Twitter files, like maybe there's part 7, 8 to come, but what are some of the moves that he should do that would really win people over like you and, more importantly, your clients?
Well, I always remember the scene from Citizen Kane where he puts a declaration of principles after buying the paper. And at least in the beginning, he was idealistic.
Right.
And
Enron had a great set of principles too, right?
Well, that's what Elon Musk has to do. He has to stop making policy day by day, set out a number of clear principles, put them down, post them, and let people see how he plans on running it. Right now, it's a little snippet every day, and that's no way to come in here and reset the organization. That would be job number one, as far as I can see.
Anything else you'd suggest? Because I want to actually, since we're talking social platforms, I want to move on to TikTok, because that's another fascinating piece of news this week with regard to, first of all, it's the gift that keeps on giving in terms of scandal. How are you thinking about that platform right now, since it is the most popular with Gen Z, certainly?
Yeah, look, I think that the platform TikTok is going to face some headwinds here, and so they're going to have to answer some questions. How is the data secured, and can Americans be assured that it's not going to the Chinese government? If they can get over that hurdle and make it clear, then I think they could probably forestall, any significant congressional actions, and there'll be a social platform just like others. If they don't kind of, I think, climb up that mountain, I think they could have problems.